Hi there, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to Confessions of a Domestic Engineer, or as I like to call it, Code. And last time I had found myself in between jobs, about 4 years ago. Well, not last time, I guess this time it'd be a couple times ago. Uh, 4 years ago, when I found myself in between jobs, luckily I was in a position financially and I had all the equipment in my house already. I decided to finally set up and start running an aquaponics rig. And this is going to be a series that goes back and looks at what I did for that aquaponics rig. So here we go. All right, let me move over here. We're gonna move over. Give you a big empty wall, and the reason why is so you can watch the same video I'm watching at the same time. Ready? Here we go. All right, that's smiley me. All right. Now this is a 55-gallon aquarium, and I had basil, some rosemary. I actually still have that specific strain of rosemary still growing. I've done different things with it, but it's growing in the house. That's a little thyme there. I do have thyme growing in the house, but it is not the same thyme as that thyme. And there was some oregano, I believe, in there. This is what the roots look like under the water. This is really cool. I really dig getting to see the roots under the water the way they were floating in there. And those float pads that are in there, all that is some basic blue styrofoam board that goes on the outside of buildings and proper pumice stone that's used for the rock to hold the plants in place. That's what the little round balls are. They're basically pumice stone. And there's the little cups, for proper root penetration. There's the fish. This is me. I actually had 3 separate aquariums going, plus a bunch of large planters, and I still have all of this stuff. I just don't have it all up and running anymore. I have a small aquarium in my bedroom with some neon tetras in it, which a friend gave Tracy and I when they were moving and didn't want to take it or couldn't take it with them. Sorry, couldn't take it with them in the new house. So they gave it to us. And then I do have the big 55-gallon up and running with my goldfish in it still. I will come up to that shortly. These were just, and I still have these as well, these huge planters, monstrous planters, and I actually still use them for water for the fish tank. They were really fun. Put the goldfish in there. Now the one thing is, above me, you can see it briefly in certain shots. There is a giant actual grow light up there. This was a monster of a grow light kicking off some grow light. So it was kind of dark in those tanks. I felt a little bad for them, but the light that did get through, they still got a lot of light. So it made it kind of murky without it actually being murky, I guess. That would be the best way I know how to put it. You can see in here the water is clean. You can see everything crystal clear. It's just the lighting in there is kind of dimmish. Sadly, most of these goldfish didn't make the long haul transition. But I'll get into that as I go here. That's some sage growing there. That planter had sage. And this was me getting everything just started in the beginning, With the aquaponics, I was using goldfish. Do not put snails in there. It is toxic for humans to put snails in there. Just goldfish. Let them do their thing. Occasionally treat the water. Be careful with what you treat the water with. But for the most part, if you let the goldfish just go wild in the tank and you let it build up properly with their waste and whatnot, the plants should take care of any other buildup. They should eat all the nitrates out of the water. They should eat the ammonia out of the water from the fish. When I did start losing fish. Oh, here we go. Let's get into this. Okay, so that was the first. This is the first fish. Ooh, the first. I don't know why I put that was the first fish when there was already fish in there. That's the second one. I'd have to go back and watch the original proper footage, which I didn't do, because you can see there's other fish in there already. Those might be the first fish that I bought. I don't know. First fish that were prepped in there. The other fish were already in there. Most of this video footage is also at a higher speed. This one's not too bad going through here. I wanted to look pretty normal, but I will let everybody know in advance. When you're watching the other video footage very much is going to be, most of the time, at 4 times the original speed. And that's just so I can cover a lot in a little time, because there's some stuff in there where it's me doing repetitive tasks and taking 20 minutes to explain I'm cutting this basil this way. It's just absolutely asinine and ridiculous. Like here, I probably should have sped this footage up a little bit, but I didn't want to go through cutting and piecing chunks to speed it up. And I just wanted to give everybody, like when I originally shot this footage, I wanted to give everybody a real good, honest to goodness view and vibe of what it was like in the tank. Plus, I was trying to get the fish used to the GoPro just sitting there in the tank. That's really important to me, that, you know, because if I can have the GoPro just sitting there all the time and they get used to it, they'll swim up to it and you get better views that way. And it did work out later on down the line. Here there's just not a lot of fish. Now this was also when I first started prepping the tank, because I actually made a lot of changes with the tanks along the way. You're going to see video footage in one of the other episodes coming out where I ended up, this is my 55-gallon tank. This is a tank I still have up and running. But the other fish, I switched the goldfish out of here and I ended up putting tetras in later on. Ooh, that's a nice little fade out. Oh, I don't know why I did that fade out and then went to that. That was poor planning at that time. This is kind of fun. I might intersperse the way I cut this in. We'll see, you know, when I'm not saying much. Just so you can enjoy it. I am going to put the background noise in lightly, but all you're going to really hear is just the water bubbling and whatnot, or flowing through. This when I did shoot this was all after, you know, like I was editing after stuff had happened. That silver one that was up there, it didn't look good. These also, I forgot to mention, these are just basic feeder goldfish, okay? These are 19 cents each feeder goldfish. That's all they were. That's all I bought for this. This was the 25-gallon tank that I was running. The brains. Here's the important thing about the brains. And here it comes. This is the same fish, the brains. The only fish out of that original batch that survived 4 years later. And the video footage you're watching right now, I shot just before editing this. You know, like, I actually not just shot, it was like 2 days before editing this. So that is brand new current footage. And this was all the fish swimming around there. See, there's brains right there swimming around. And the big 55-gallon tank's actually been down in my son's apartment in the basement for the last little while. Oh, hey, look at that. This is me prepping stone to put more stone in, just basic prepping. But back to the story about my son. My 55-gallon just came back up into my living room. So I'm now in the point, you know, like my son was taking care of it. He was feeding the fish and whatnot. But because it was in the basement, I wasn't going down and cleaning it the way I should have been. So right now I'm working on doing a little management for getting everything back up and running properly, up to where it should be, that, you know, proper health levels for the fish. Which is why I don't have any video footage of the fish right now, because they don't look great. They look a little sad, and I'm just, you know, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, they don't look sad. They don't look horrible, but some of them, they've got some stuff. Maybe I'll do an episode about that. I'll film that afterwards. Anyways, the reason I'm rinsing out all this stone is, one, I want to get the aquarium sand out of there. One, I hate aquarium sand. It's annoying. It gets into everything. It mucks everything up. It's a pain in the ass for cleaning. I'm still cleaning it out of the stones years later. This is from when my mom had this aquarium. I actually got this aquarium. The 55-gallon I got secondhand from my mom. Aquarium sand was one of the things she had in there for one of the fish she had in there. It was really cool, but no. This here is just more footage of them in there floating around. The little white stuff you see floating around is actually plant roots. I believe I had just taken the plants out because I was moving them to do some work out there. Taking the air bubbler out. They're all scurrying around having fun. Oh, I'm about to put the stones in. That's why I did this, I think. That would be why I washed them, right? No? What am I doing? Scooping out the pumice stone. Those rocks, half of them float, half of them sink. Either way, they're a pain in the ass everywhere they go. I've got tons of them. They're wonderful. They're great for aquaponics. They're great for hydroponics. Great to reuse. Oh, as you can see, okay, I am putting the stone in now, and I'm trying to dump it in away from the fish separately. A lot of people will keep their hands out of there so they don't transmit anything in, any toxins, whatnot. The reality is they were 19-cent goldfish. Not overly worried about it. I have gotten more than my money's worth out of them since. I've spent so much money on food. The brains, okay, I call it the brains. My son calls it Sheila, which is the one that, you know, I showed you that I still have. That particular fish, I have spent more money on that fish for food. Just food. Forget water care and all that other stuff. I spent more money on that, just that fish alone for food, than I ever would have thought I would have spent on a fish. Okay, and 4 years that thing's been alive. You know, and this is when I got it, when I was experimenting with aquaponics. Okay, it survived my very first experiment with aquaponics and is still going. I was quite impressed. Alright. This is just me moving the camera around so you can get a nicer view in there. See the water's a little mucked up a bit, but that's it. You'll look in the back, you'll see that there is that big black thing in the back. That's a water filter. There are no actual filters in it. It was meant just to cycle the water through there. Once again, the idea behind aquaponics is to use the fish waste to feed the plants. And it works great. It really does. It's fantastic. And you'll see I have ample success with it as the episodes go on. So, speaking of the episodes going on, I'm going to cut this episode here so we can get into the next one. And then this is still the setup. I want to be clear about that. This is still the setup process going on here. That's why I'm not getting into too much of the actual scientific detail or not getting into too much actual information. This is a bare bones setup. And at this point, I was actually still learning as I was going, okay? I want to be completely clear about that. I'd read a little bit online, got to know some basics. I've had fish multiple times over the years. I've gardened over the years. I thought it was a great idea to get into. And you're going to see how I took this little idea that I was experimenting with and blew it up into something much bigger. So, that being said, we're going to cut it off here. Keep going in the next episode when I release it. Otherwise, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button. That one is really, really important. That one will allow me to start being able to do some live streaming, which right now I can't do any actual live streaming. It won't let me do it because I don't have enough subscribers because YouTube has changed their policies on that. So I need more subscribers, please. So if you could do that, that benefits me and it benefits you because then you can benefit from the live streams. If you're one of my, if you watch my album reviews, one of the things you'll know is I've been talking about this coming up. I'm going to see Rammstein up in Montreal, Quebec in August. I want to be able to do some live streams while I'm up there. Some of the places I go to, I don't want to just record them, edit them, and add them in later. Of course that's going to happen, but that's not what I want to do. I'd like to actually do some live streaming while I'm there. And not just the concert, other things. Me and Tracy are actually going up on vacation. My son's coming up with us as well. So we're going to see how that goes. Anyways, so subscribe. That's important for that. Otherwise, I want you to feel free, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And peace, love, take care. Oh, yeah, there's the Patreon thing. Click the Patreon thing. Throw some money my way. Yeah, so peace, love, take care.